Hello guys, I am Umair Nazim and welcome to the object-oriented series of Let's Code. Now you are watching the part 2 of the lecture number 2. So in the part 1 of the lecture number 2, I demonstrate you about the objects and classes on the board. But I told you that in the second part of this video, in the second part of the lecture number 2, I will do the same thing on the compiler so that you can understand the things, how to create the object and classes on the compiler. So now it is the time to show you the things. So without wasting any time, let me show you. So here I am using the Eclipse. So our first step is to create a project. Okay, so for that one, first I click here on the file and then I will click on this new. Okay, then I will come to here. As you can see here, it's written Java project. So I'll come to this project and I have to create a project. For that one, you can give any name, whatever you want, but I'm going to write here OOP, okay, OOP, and then I will click on the finish button here. So here, as you can see, we have successfully created our project. After that, you will click on the project here and go to the new, and after that our second step is to create a package. Okay, for the package I'm going to write here lecture number 2, but again it is up to you whatever name you want to give. But one thing I want to demonstrate you here, for example, if I will press here L with a, for example, if I write here the uppercase any letter, so it is giving an error. As you can see here, the your letter must be in the lowercase. So for that one I have to write here with a lowercase. So this one I can write here lecture 2, and then I will click on the finish. After that, so here as you can see, if I close this one, I will open this one, there is source. Okay, within the source I have this one as a package name. This is lecture 2. Then I will click on this package, again I will click on the new, and I have to create a class now. So it is the same step that we did in our previous videos. So I can call this class as a my class. Okay, but in this class I will create here public static void main. So that method we have to create here. So as you can see, it is the same class that we were dealing with our previous videos, because this class is containing this one void main method. And but for the object oriented, if you remember in the previous video I told you that we have to create a different class and we will access that class within this public static void, within this method, I mean this main method. Okay, so for that one I will again click on the package here, lecture number 2. Okay, I will go to the new and I will create one more class. Okay, and for that class we took the example of student class. So I can write here student. Okay, but you can give any name, whatever you want, that is your logic. Okay, but please make sure one thing, in that class we will not use this main method. Okay, we will create this class without the main method. This is a very important step. So without selecting this method here, I will click on the finish, and as you can see, this one is our second class with the name student without the main method. This one is our first class, for example, here with main method, and this one is our second class. Okay, the student class. So here in this class we will put our data. So like for example, this student class could have different members here. Okay, let's take the example of a student. For example, I have created a class for the student, and that student can have a student name. So that student name, his surname, these things are called the member variables. Okay, these are called the member variables of the student class. So let's take the example, for example, string. So that student can have a name. Okay, so this name, and then so here we have created a variable, that name is name. Okay, that is the name of the variable, and the data type is here string. Again we can create one more variable, that name is surname, and that is also a string, name, surname. okay, and after that that student can have also an age, okay, and age is, you know, it is an integer, for that's why here the data type is integer, and we can create a variable with the name age. Okay, this one is our variable, and we have created here 3 variables. Okay, so for that one, these 3 variables are called the member of this member variables of this student class, and we can also create member functions here. Okay, but I will not go in detail now. For that one, just focus on the variables, and we will deal about the member functions methods in a different video. So please make one sure, after creating your variables or after putting your data, you have to press Ctrl S to save this file. Okay, so after that I will go to my class, and within this void main method I will access the student class. So to access the student class, here again I have to use the student the name of the class, that is student, and here I have to give any specific name. So let's suppose that we are going to create we are going to put the information of a student whose name is Tommy. Okay, so I will use here Tommy, and then I have to use here new equal new. So this new keyword is very important. This keyword new is important. And after that, again you will write your class name, that was a student, and you will put this to parentheses. Okay, now this thing is called as, like, we have created an object. Okay, and this one is Tommy. So now if you want to access the variables of the Tommy, the variables of this student class, okay, so to access the variables of that student class, you have to use this keyword Tommy. Okay, now after that one, we will not use the student keyword anymore, the student word anymore. Okay, so here for example Tommy dot. So when I use this dot here, as you can see, this one is a drop down here. So in that drop down I can see the member variables, that is the surname, name, and age. Now let me assign the value to the name here. Tommy dot name is equal to, let's suppose the name is Tommy here, and now I want to pass the value for the surname, Tommy dot surname here. Okay, and Tommy, so for example Hill. Then let me write here Tommy dot age. Now for the age I can assign a value, let's suppose 20. Okay, now here as you can see, by using this name I can access to the member variables. Okay, now this name, this surname, and this age, they are referring to the student class. This name, this one, these are like variables. Okay, now here as you can see, I have written the value, assigned the value Tommy, Hill, and age, and that values are here in the same, you can suppose. Okay, this name is now containing Tommy, this surname is containing the Hill, and this age is containing 20. Okay, now let me print, and I will show you how can you print the things, your data here, system.out, and here. So now one more thing, how I have created this shortcut for this one, this long sentence. So I will simply use here SYSO, and I will use control and space. So when I will put this one, so it will automatically print this big line here. So here I write here for example name. Okay, and now again I want to get the data from the student class. So to get the data from student class, I said that we will use the word that is Tommy. Okay, Tommy dot, when I will use here dot, and now again you can access to your member variables. So I will use here Tommy dot name. Now again, now in this Tommy dot name, it will print the value what? Tommy, because this name variable is now containing the value Tommy. Okay, and again I will use here plus the concatenation symbol, that is, and I will use here surname. Okay, in the surname I want to now access to the surname, Tommy dot surname. Okay, and then I have to access to the age, and for the age again I have to use here Tommy dot age. Okay, now let me print this one, and I will show you the result. Now as you can see here, this one is name is Tommy, Okay, surname is Hill and the age is 20. So if you want to give the space here, you can give the space like, okay, give the little bit space here, also give the little bit space here and space to here age. Okay, now let me show you again. Now as you can see, there is a little bit space here and here also. So similar like this. So as you can see that by using this Tommy, we can access to the member variables, and we can also print the member variables to here. But that one is just an object for one student. Let's suppose that you have different students, for example 2-3 students like this. So that one is actually the beauty of object oriented, is that you can create one class and you can access that class for different objects. Okay, what I mean this one, let's suppose this one is just for one student Tommy, but I have 2 students. For the second student I want to use the same name, surname and that one. So how can I give a different you can say values for the second student? So student, again I will access to that same class student, and I will give a name. So second student is, for example, you can say Martha. Okay, and I will give new student. Okay, now I have created this second object for the student. Okay, the first one is by the Tommy, I can access the same class, and the second method is like I can access by using the Martha. Okay, but again, for example, if I create, again I write here instead of Tommy again, so it will give me an error because already I have one object here, the Tommy. Now I cannot again create a new instance or object again for the Tommy. So for the second time I have to use a different name. Now let's suppose for the Martha, again I want to add a new information for the Martha. Okay, I will use here Martha dot name. Okay, and that name is also this name. Okay, this name is again here the same one. Okay, Martha dot name is equal to, let's suppose, Martha, and Martha dot surname is equal to Martha John, let's suppose, and Martha dot, okay, Martha dot age, let's suppose the age is 30. Okay, now here the important thing is that when I am using this Martha here, okay, and because this Martha is again reaching to the same class, that is student, but this time I have a different object. So this Martha dot name is containing this Martha, the value, this Martha dot surname is containing the value Johan. Okay, and here this Tommy dot name is containing the value Tommy, and this Tommy dot surname is containing the value Hill. But all of these are giving the information to the same class here in the student, in the same variables. Okay, so let's suppose how can I print the same thing here. So let me copy that line here. Okay, and I will put that line to simply here. And now again, instead of the Tommy, I can use here Martha. Okay, and here I will use Martha again, Martha dot surname. Okay, and here I will use Martha again. Okay, this Martha, and let me run and I will show you the difference. So as you can see, now we are accessing the one class, but the values are different here because we created the different objects for the same class. So that is the beauty of object oriented. Now when I will use this Tommy, Tommy.name, Tommy.surname, Tommy.age, then it is containing these values with the reference of Tommy. Okay, like I mean with the object of Tommy. But when I will use here Martha.name, Martha.age, then it is containing these values Martha, Johan and 30 with the Martha. Okay, and we can access. When I will access by using the Martha, it will directly go to these values. Okay, these values for example. And when I will reach, when I will write the Tommy, for example Tommy.name, it will go to these values. Okay. Here one important thing is that here I have created two different objects for the same class. But if you want to create the more objects for the same class, you can create the more objects. Okay. there is no limit. So that's it for today's, guys. See you in the next video with a new topic. So take care of yourself.